Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Phoenix Rising Star, and welcome to day 3 of our free 3-part series, Release 2020, Empower 2021. So, our first day, we were releasing simple daily stress with a powerful meditation and just incredible insights into, oh my goodness, we never realized just how much we take on. Yesterday, we were releasing more of the ongoing stress that can lead into trauma and also the cellular memory of that, which was a much deeper meditation, much more profound in its revelations based on what I'm hearing from people as you email me. And I'm just thrilled to hear from you. So thank you so much for that. And with cellular memory, it is deep. It is profound when we realize what it was, where it came from, if you got that kind of information. And if you didn't, chances are you still felt better. And that was the whole goal behind that. Because many times, if it was a very traumatic experience that caused that cellular memory, we don't have to repeat any of that. We can just simply let it go. And so your wise guides will make that determination if you need to have more information about it or not, based on how traumatic it was. So, how lovely is that that we have these benevolent, supportive souls that know exactly what we need and will give us exactly what's for our highest and best. And we're going to continue working with our wise souls today, too, because today is Empowerment Day. Now, before I talk more about empowerment, I need to just kind of backtrack a little bit more into this cellular memory so that you have a better idea of why we are following up all this healing with the empowerment. So, yesterday I was talking about the example of holding onto the cellular memory of if you are in an abusive relationship. And so as a female, if you're in an abusive relationship with a male, then different cellular memories can be stored in different places based on your experiences. So first, the actual physical trauma can be stored in your physical energetic layer. Any emotional trauma could be stored there, but also the emotions of possibly anger and resentment over being in this situation. And of course, our anger and resentment can be projected outwards, but it's really aimed at ourselves for putting ourselves in that position in the first place. We can also have mental belief systems that we form around our situation. Men are bad, relationships aren't safe. Um, all kinds of things. I'm not good enough, those kinds of things can all be stored in our mental belief system. So you can see how cellular memory has a lot of tentacles. And when we're doing our healing work, you're releasing the layers and the tentacles that you're ready to release, but there still may be a few others that are connected to that originating event that will come to the surface when they're ready to be released too. The other thing about cellular memory is that it affects your law of attraction, right? So if you have an abusive relationship and even if you've left that relationship, if you haven't cleared that relationship at a cellular level, then you're still broadcasting abuse and codependency and disempowerment and all the things that led into that to begin with. And the very abusers who are looking for that are going to be picking that up because it's just energy. It's just energy, but they know how to read it and they're going to find you. And that's what you end up attracting right back again. This is why it's very difficult to get out of a pattern once it gets a hold of you, unless you can release it at a cellular level, right? If you release it at a cellular level, then you're no longer attracting those abusers who want to take advantage of you. You have a new story of empowerment now. And so that's what you are now attracting, are safe people and safe events into your life. This is why we follow yesterday's cellular memory healing with empowerment, because yesterday, chances are you received, even if you don't have words for it yet, you received a new story in place of the cellular memory that was the old story that you were able to heal and shift and change just with the help of your wise guide that showed up. So your new story now is one of empowerment. And now that you've cleared the way for that, when you step into empowerment, because of your new story, you're going to be attracting back the very people and events that are safe and wonderful and will be supportive of your empowerment. This is why it's so important, right? To clear that cellular memory before we manifest. Otherwise, we're just manifesting the same old stuff without realizing why and how. Does this make sense so far? And if not, you can unmute yourself or you can put something in the chat just so I can help clarify anything that maybe didn't get understood. Okay, so today you're going to need to have some paper and pen or pencil or writing or drawing materials next to you because we are going to start our empowerment for 2021 and we need space to create. And sometimes things come in so fast, it's like you've got to write it down or draw it before it slips away. Even though you think, oh, I'll always remember this, our minds can kind of get busy and cluttered with other things, and then the details get lost in the shuffle. So, we're going to start with a piece of paper where we can put things down in the ways that make sense to us, whether you're drawing or writing. And we're going to start with your very empowerment virtue that you received yesterday to the best of your ability to articulate it. Now, some of you may have had that wonderful, heartfelt words without words, in like communication, if you will. And it's a type of light language, and it's all based on what's coming in and coming out of your heart. And it's like you know something happened, but really you haven't been able to articulate it yet. That's okay. And maybe that's why a picture might help. If you can put those feelings into a picture, then you can put that at the top of your page. But some of you got some very specific messages through your wise beings that are now your new empowerment message for yourself. Let me give you an example. Sometimes when I'm leading a guided meditation, I actually get to participate at the same time. And yesterday was one of those. Thank you, God. It was just perfect for me. So yesterday I had a wise being that came in, and it was Samuel, who I've worked with many times. And he took me back in time to a place that wasn't even on this planet, which can happen because we're not all from this planet originally, or maybe we've had different experiences on different places in the multiverses. So this was in a different place, galaxy, I don't know, star system, whatever. And I was some kind of leader, female leader on this planet or wherever it was, star system. But I was crying. I was crying because I felt like I wasn't helping enough people and they weren't coming for help, and maybe they didn't even realize they needed help, but I just knew I wasn't doing my job because I didn't have enough people to help. I didn't know how to get them to me. And Samuel was really good. And he said, but you see, you know this already, but you'd forgotten that when you're putting out there the things that you can't do, things that you're not doing, the things that are not working, you're just going to get more of that. So don't put it out there in a negative phrase. Let's rephrase this. How can I attract the very people that I meant to serve? How can I help as many people as possible? When you put it out like that, you have now opened the doors for all the people to find you. He said, you knew that, but you forgot it. And so that's been part of the stress you've been experiencing right now. And I went, oh my gosh, of course, of course. So my new empowerment message is, how can I attract the very people that I'm meant to work with? And how can I help as many people as possible? There's my empowerment message for 2021. And what we are going to do today, underneath your empowerment message, is we're going to get the rest figured out with the help of our wise helper. Now, some of you have really active left brains, and you're probably already starting to brainstorm some things that would fall under your empowerment virtue there. stop. This isn't a left brain exercise. This is really going to be a trust exercise. We are trusting that the divine is going to come through with a perfect helper, and that the divine knows exactly what it's doing and will give us whatever's for our highest and best. And it's probably not what we're expecting, but it's going to be really perfect. So that part, we're just going to suspend our left brain. We'll have it observe and kind of keep tally of everything. But our right brain is going to be heavily engaged in allowing the divine to come through with the perfect helper. Don't let it overwhelm you. It's so much easier. It's just like yesterday, right? You're in this beautiful place in nature and you had a helper that came along and you had a profound experience. It's just like that today, except we're going to take it a little farther into the empowerment of your new story. And it's a new story because you've let go of the old. How beautiful is this? So if you have the words to put your empowerment virtue into, like a phrase or a couple of words, you can put those at the top of your page, or you can make a picture or something that represents that to you. And if you have a feeling, maybe put the feeling there. Maybe write about the feeling, or put colors in that represent the feeling, or a picture. Maybe later you can find a perfect picture that represents that feeling for you. Don't worry if you don't have the words. I tend to be very auditory, so I hear a lot of messages. I have conversations in my head all the time, but they're with wise, benevolent, high-level beings, right? But not everybody's auditory. Some people are extremely visual, and so that's why maybe a picture works better for them. Other people may be more in touch with tones or frequencies. And so maybe paper won't even work for you. Maybe you'll have to record the tones and frequencies that come through for you, because that will trigger your new story of empowerment to come through. So it's all about, there's a lot going on here. You have to know how you're receiving your information. And then what we're going to do is just open and trust and allow for all the new information to support our new story to come through in the way that's best and right for us. It's a pretty profound experience. Now, what questions do you have? What can I help you with that maybe, and if you didn't, okay, well, here's a question. If you haven't had a chance to listen to yesterday's meditation yet, don't worry about it. Your helper knows that already and is going to bring to you exactly what you need anyway. So it will all fit. You may get a little extra healing. You may get something that's just, whatever. You'll get exactly what you're supposed to get. So you're not behind on anything, you're right where you need to be. And you can go back and listen to it, and then you can go back and listen to this one again and add to your empowerment list for 2020. Okay, good. I see a heart. Yay, thank you. Now, questions. You can unmute, you can put it in the chat, you can do whatever it takes so that we are as clear as possible before we start our incredible meditation for today. I'm so excited about this. Give you just a few minutes. And while you're waiting to see if there's any questions, make sure that you have, if you were able to participate yesterday, then you have an idea of what it is that you're working on today. An idea of feeling, a sense, and knowing, however it came to you. And if you weren't able to, you will receive that today. So it's all good. It's all good. Don't worry. But I have it maybe available so you can add to that from our meditation. Okay, we must be ready to go. You guys are really good students because you have no questions whatsoever. I'm not seeing any hands raised. Nobody's unmuting. Nothing in the chat. Okay, let's go. Now, let's see. I have a new picture to show you today. So let me do it this way. There it is. Isn't this perfect? And remove these. There we go. And I'm going to stop my video, and I invite you to stop your video as well. All right, you can gaze at this picture because this is like where we're stepping into. Having released our old story, we are now stepping into something so rich, so magnanimous, so appropriate for our empowerment and what we are ready for, whether we realize it or not. And this just represents all of that. So gaze at that if you like for a few minutes or through the whole meditation if you like to help you gather insights and awarenesses or at least feelings of calmness, maybe excitement, um, maybe a little bit of anticipation, whatever it might be that comes up for you. It's all perfect. Just taking a few long, slow, deep breaths to begin to calm your mind and your heart, to awaken your body for inner transformation and change. And inhaling peace and relaxation with a tinge of excitement. And exhaling anything that does not belong to that new story. And just repeat those breaths a few more times, making each one a little longer and a little slower until you feel like you can be present in this moment now. And yesterday we began by finding ourselves in a place in nature, a beautiful place in nature that was close to water. You have the choice of going back to that very same place or a new place in nature that might better represent the new beginnings that you are choosing. The new beginnings that are in total alignment with your heart and your soul. And you know that because of what you experienced yesterday or what your guide, your helpful guide for today will help you to have an understanding of. So find yourself in your perfect place in nature and just get settled into that. As we first open up our inner ears to just notice all the sounds in this beautiful place in nature. You might hear birds or animals. You may hear water, or you may hear wind, or maybe just the hush of profound silence. Taking in the rich details that you can see with your inner eyesight. Noticing the color green that is always prevalent with Mother Nature. Even in the desert, there is a lot of green. Green is nature's healing color, color of rebirth, renewal, and regeneration, color of new beginnings and new stories. Just appreciate all the colors of green wherever you notice them in your place in nature. Also noticing the color blue, wherever you might see that, in the sky or the water or the plants, flowers, birds. Color of peace and serenity and higher truths, higher wisdom, higher knowledge that we're about to have access to, totally in alignment with our hearts and our souls. Noticing the temperature of the day on your skin and how perfect it is for you. Feeling the ground beneath you, even if you're not sitting on the ground, you are aware of the ground beneath you. Or if you're floating in water, you know that there's probably a bottom to that river, lake, pond, or stream or ocean. Even noticing the unique smells and scents of that area, whether it's the richness of flowers or trees or bushes, plants, or there may be other uniquenesses to the smells and scents of that area as well. This is a very profound place to create from. Nature knows all about creation, and so does your wise helper who's making its way towards you. Now, your wise helper could be the same one as yesterday. It could be someone you knew that's already crossed over. It could be a helper you have worked with before, such as an angel, ascended master, such as Jesus or Mother Mary or Buddha. Or it could be someone that you're not entirely familiar with, but it feels familiar. And part of that familiarity comes from the wave of love that's emanating from their heart to your heart. Kind of like that light language code of love that's encoded into that wave. And so just take that in to your heart and really feel it, know it. And when you're ready, you can share that love back to the heart of your wise helper. Some people will see their helper, and others will just have a form. Others won't see anything at all, but maybe they hear a voice or a tone or frequency. Still, others will just have a knowing that someone is there, whether they know who it is or not. But it's this wave of love between you and your helper that helps you to recognize that this is a being here for your highest good and healing. And that's all that matters. Names can tend to put people and beings into a box. It really isn't appropriate. So sometimes they simply say, "Know me by my essence." Now, your wise being will sit beside you, taking your hand and giving you more information on your empowerment virtues for 2021. What is the big picture? And any additional details you need to know to help you get there. And I'll be really quiet while you're receiving in the ways that are right for you. Many times, what comes through is not in the language of words. So don't be disappointed if you're not hearing things. You are still taking it in. The words will come later because that's what they do. And we've had time to integrate more deeply. So just continue with your open heart, focusing on the most important things for 2021. You can ask for any additional help, support, or details, and know that you will receive it in your perfect and divine timing. Allow yourself to feel the confidence of what is coming through. This is so aligned with you. It's perfect for you. And therefore, success is the only option. As your helper is finishing, your helper has a gift for you that is being placed into your hand and then bringing your hand to your heart, placed into your heart. Just sit with that, all that you have received, all that you're aware of, and know that more insights and awarenesses are coming. They'll make their way known to you. The words will be there. At some point, your helper will take its leave, bowing in divine gratitude to you as you bow back The divine in each of you salutes the divine in each of you. And you continue to rest there for a few more minutes to integrate to the best of your ability and to articulate to the best of your ability all that you need right now. And when that feels complete for now, gently bring your knowing back into your body. Bring yourself back into your room. Feeling and knowing your gift. Sensing the information you received and placing it on paper to be remembered and meditated on later. And when you're ready, you can turn on your video to let me know that you are ready to share if you care to share, or just support others who are sharing. Marianne, did you have something you wanted to share, or probably didn't know you were unmuted?
I did not share yesterday
Uh-huh.
because I had something very strange happen.
Oh,
Um, I ha- I have this helper who has been around since I was very young, and
nice.
I call her White Lady because she's just this brilliant white light.
Oh,
And yesterday, I let go of so much pain and rage that I didn't know that I was still holding. That's why I couldn't share it because it was still kind of really raw.
yeah.
After this meditation today, the top of my paper says, I am worthy.
Oh my goodness, how beautiful is that?
And I received some great information today that I am a good person and I am worthy of being loved. This has been a really
Oh,
oh
congratulations.
this was not what I was expecting when I signed up for this. But it was
Oh,
definitely worth it.
oh, yes. Oh, wow, congratulations. That's so amazing.
Oh,
Here's to your
thank you.
new, yes, here's to your new story. Wow, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Grace?
Hello. Well, I missed yesterday's live, but I did it this morning. And between that one and this one, there was just a great deal of healing. I don't think they want me to know what they're doing because, and of course, I was working with my BFF Metatron because he and I go back quite a bit. And it was just this great sense of just releasing and healing, and like weird things come up. Like it's so funny how certain cellular memory triggers certain things. Something as simple as I keep my house so cold because my dad would never turn on the heat. He would just use the fireplace. And so I just have had that mindset. And I'm like, girl, you deserve to be warm. Like, you don't need to suffer anymore. It's okay. So it's little moments like that that you don't realize the things that you hang on to, the patterns, the how big the tentacles really are, and the oddest things. Um, Today was very, it was just the empowering thing is just expansiveness, the delight of being expand, the ability to expand, the ability to go now move into a place where I can begin to expand as and show up as I want to be. Like whenever I move, I go there in the essence of the energy of the person I want to become versus where I'm at now. So bringing in all of the highest and where I want to be, as a result of living there. And they just brought a lot of delight and a lot of just wonderment, I guess, in a sense of just to expand and to see what that means and to explore and to not be so myopic and focused and to just allow myself to go find a new hobby or explore, certain other healing types and techniques and not even said I will always work with the angels, but like herbology and just to go learn. And there's such a mecca of that where I'm going that it's like it's almost like I'm anticipating it, like I'm excited again. Like so it's amazing what shows up. Like you don't expect what
Right.
you think, oh, I know what's going to happen because I've done meditations before, and all of a sudden you're just like given something out of left field, and it's empowering, but also I think it's uplifting in a sense. It's
Yeah.
there's such a release in what we're getting, we're letting go of with love and reverence, but at the same time we get the opportunity, the delight in creating, co-creating what we want to co-create versus w- being it circumstantial, being it from trauma, being it from cellular memory. It's like, oh my gosh, what would I like my life to look like if I could release all of my cellular memory? It's like, it's sorry. I think it's amazing. And
Oh, wow. You are so ready for new beginnings. How exciting. And isn't it amazing how, we ask for the highest good and healing for everybody involved here, and everybody gets it. And it's completely different for every person because we're all in different places.
and collectively we share that too because we share love and give love and for people and their achievements and since Marianne and feeling worthy, it's like we've all been at that stage where we don't feel it, and to know how huge and how amazing that is, that was the message. It lifts us all up and
Yes.
lifts us all into that highest energy. So
Mm.
thank you everybody who shares, because I think collectively we share what we feel what you feel.
Absolutely. Good point. Thank you, Grace. Wow.
I can share.
Oh, thank you
Sorry you
so
guys don't get to
much.
see the image, but I can describe it for you guys.
Thank you.
Um, for me, I got the just be. It's just this very quiet be, and everything else will just, kind of fall into place if I just be present and balanced in that moment. And for me, that came out as this beautiful green mountain, and balanced on top of it is this purple circle with a purple spiral in the middle of it. And out of the top of it growing is this beautiful blue heart that's shining its light.
Oof. Wow.
Yeah. But I got the idea of just just be and just be present. Find the balance in the present moment and not so much worrying about the past or the future, but just being present in that moment. And I totally agree with Amy or Grace on that, that yeah, we've all been to the spot where we felt unworthy. And so it is amazing, Marianne, that you got there. So congratulations. Welcome to the club with the rest of us. It gets better from there. So thank you.
Wow. Flo, I think that's a perfect message for you, considering you're working on your master's thesis and balancing, family and their needs and everything that you're doing. So that's a perfect message. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Mhm. Wow. Tammy.
Mine was a lot of what had happened yesterday and a lot of hand holding. It's very close to flow in that mine was allow yourself to be, to have faith, um, to be patient. And I got a lot of you have time, you are enough, you will figure it out. It is on the way to you. Those were all the, and then it was a lot of, there was, my grandmother was there again, and so was Sacagaway, and they're just holding my hands. That's it. And it was, I was sitting here in a space of, okay, just be there, just because nothing else was happening. It was just, we were just sitting by a really big waterfall.
Nice.
And that was, it was, I was kind of, I think my left brain was over here trying to, what is going on? What is, and I kept having to say, it's okay, just sit. And so there was a lot of like squeezing of hand, like just sit here. It was really me fighting it, I think.
Mm, well, it's hard for the brain to
Mhm.
allow. So the brain wants to control because that's what it does best, and it's just a process of helping it to understand it has a different role. You know, if that makes sense. So thank you for sharing that. Wow. Whew, my goodness. Anybody else care to share? This is really profound information that's coming out for everyone. Okay. Well, it's amazing what kinds of things can happen when we let go of our old story and get ready to step into the new one. And it's no accident that you signed up for this series, whether you're on live or on the recording, because you too are getting exactly what is for your highest and best and what you are ready for. So know that a part of you knew it was going to be profound, and here you are. So proud of everybody that you could step into it full on and experience what you experienced to the degree you've been able to, because more will be revealed over the next couple of days. That's how it always works. Pay attention to your dreams. Um, Maybe even do some, I don't know if it's automatic writing necessarily, but journaling and just let it flow out, whatever wants to flow out. Those kinds of things can help. You can do further meditation. You'll have these meditations to listen to over and over again. And each time, because you're in a different place, you'll have a slightly different experience, and always for your highest good and healing, because that's the only way we work. We're the highest level guide that's perfect for you for where you are right now. Phew, wow. I have so enjoyed this series, and I'm kind of wondering if well, I know I need to do more of them. It's a matter of when. So be watching for more series like this, because I think they're extremely helpful for all of us to move forward with a new story. I have that free call available, and gosh, I didn't even copy that off, but I'll put it in the email again. I noticed that this week is all filled, and I do have some openings for next week, and then the free calls are only available until February 8th. So if you would like help and support in moving from your old story to your new story, or if you would like to have more experiences of moving from an old story to a new story, there are ways to make that happen, and I'm here to help support that. So, so please feel free to use that. Um, I think it would be very useful. And if you don't find a time, use my email address to connect with me and say, I'm really only available at these days and this time. Can we work something out? And chances are we can find something that's mutually acceptable. So thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you for adding your insights and awarenesses and your experiences to help everybody here, because your sharing is invaluable. Your energy is invaluable. And so even if you didn't share, your being here was extremely helpful for the whole field of energy that we create together. So, yes. My love to all of you. Have a fabulous rest of your day. I'll be sending out the final recording soon. And also, I'll probably be sending you a couple of other emails, just because a couple of other things always occur to me afterwards. It's like, oh, I forgot to mention this. Or here's where I put all these recordings now so you can find them, that kind of thing. So be watching for some other emails from me. All right. Thank you so much. Namaste, everyone. Blessings to you. Bye bye.